Yeah, I've been at this for, over 40 years working with psychiatrists, studying the voices that schizophrenics hear, that the psychiatric mafia insists are hallucinations, and they're not. You know, once you really start looking into them, they run very specific, very predictable patterns, and something like 23 of them, and I can go down them real quickly. They're, you know, anybody working in the field can see this for themselves. They don't need any highfalutin lab equipment or where they psychiatry it wasn't psychiatry who came up with the chemical imbalance garbage. That was Eli Lilly back in the 70s when they came up with the chemical imbalance theory, because they had no explanation for what the voices were or what caused them. They had no idea. They still have no idea. But so they keep from looking like fools. They had to make up some cause. So they started with mothers. They blamed it on mothers. Then they blamed it on genetics, and they couldn't find anything on genetics. They couldn't find anything with mothers. So they came up with this chemical imbalance theory. And look at this. In order to disprove it, you need labs. You need big labs. You need experienced people and all this stuff. So they came up with it's a chemical imbalance in the brain. They just made it up out of nowhere. Just made it up. And who's going to disprove it? Not the people on the front lines, not the frontline psychiatrists, not the frontline psychologists, nobody. I mean, eventually some people in the universities who weren't under control of the psychiatric mafia started looking into it, and they could find no chemical imbalance. Matter of fact, they don't even know what the chemical balance of the brain is or should be. They just made this up out of thin air just to make it look like they had some explanation for what schizophrenia is. They've done no studies on it whatsoever. If you were to study the voices, you'd find out that they're consistently negative. They're insulting, they're abusive, they're destructive. They're anti-religious. They don't like the Bible. They don't like preachers. They don't like the 23rd Psalm. They cringe at the 23rd Psalm. They want nothing to do with religion or spirituality. They foster and create negative emotion. That's the reason why they're constantly saying rotten things to these people. You're no good. You're ugly. You're stupid. Nobody loves you. Just, you're a drag on everybody. Why don't you just kill yourself? They want to create that negative emotion. That's what they feed off of. And people who hear voices, once they're attacked by them, if they notice, they'll see that their energy level drops to nothing after they're being attacked by these voices. And it's consistent. The voices come, their energy level drops to nothing. And they don't pay attention to it. It's like, oh, yeah, they're so horrible. They don't notice that their energy is gone after these things leave. But they know that they didn't use that energy. So where did it go? If they didn't use it, where did it go? There's a one-to-one correspondence between these voices showing up and their energy vanishing. It's these things take it. They have to turn their emotional energy negative before they can take it, because that's what they survive on, that negative emotional energy.